In a quiet corner of the world, a love story was unfolding, a love as old as time. Feraye and Yaman, two souls deeply in love, had embarked on their journey in childhood with each passing day. Their love had grown stronger. They had made a lifelong promise to be together. Feraye and her family worked in Yaman's mansion. On the other side of this love story were Feraye's stepmother, Cemile, and her daughter, Aleyna. Aleyna had set her sights on Yaman, believing that one day she would become his wife. She made every effort to get closer to him, to win his heart, but his eyes and heart were only for Feraye. Aleyna constantly spoke about him and how they would get married one day, but Feraye never let her know that she was the one who would marry Yaman. Feraye had a difficult life after her mother's death. Her stepmother constantly mistreated and yelled at her, even when they were in the mansion, and she didn't care if others overheard. She could only find happiness when she was near Yaman and her father, who genuinely loved her. On her birthday, Yaman had prepared a special surprise for her, a proposal that would bind their love forever. As they got ready to celebrate, a troubling incident unfolded. Bora, known to the family, approached Feraye and began to harass her. Yaman, witnessing this, couldn't contain his anger and reacted fiercely, leading to a violent confrontation. The situation escalated when Bora, seeking revenge, went to Yaman's house with harmful intentions and a gun. However, fate had other plans. Yaman's brother, Okan, intervened to protect his sibling. In a desperate act of defense, he struck Bora with a vase. The blow was far more powerful than intended, leaving Bora unconscious, almost lifeless. Okan didn't know what to do with his body. He was shocked from everything that happened and took the body and threw it in the lake because he thought he's dead. Unfortunately, Cemile had been on the balcony and witnessed everything that had happened. The following day, she found Bora's phone in the yard. Realizing the gravity of the situation, she used this information to their advantage. She threatened to expose their involvement in Bora's predicament. The price of her silence? Yaman should marry Aleyna as soon as possible. Yaman, overwhelmed and torn, felt compelled to accept Cemile's conditions. He made a difficult call, asking Aleyna to meet him for an unexpected proposal. Feraye, devastated and confused, received the news that Yaman and Aleyna were going out and planning to get married. She confronted Yaman, seeking answers and clinging to the love they had shared. Yaman's response left Feraye heartbroken. He claimed to love Aleyna, leaving Feraye in disbelief, her world shattering around her. She decided to kill herself because nothing would make sense without him, and light up a fire in her house. A few moments later, fortunately, Yaman's older brother Ateş, who had just arrived from America, passed by the house and saved Feraye's life. Ateş rushed her to the hospital where a doctor, after examining her, delivering surprising news. "You and your baby are both fine," the doctor said, revealing to Feraye a life-altering realization: she was pregnant. She asked him to keep this secret because she told him that the father of the child had betrayed me. She didn't want me to tell you or get back together with him, all without revealing to her that the father of that child was actually Ateş's brother. He supported Feraye endlessly and stayed very close to him when, after a few days, he made a clear decision. He proposed a formal marriage, a temporary arrangement to protect her and her child's future. Feraye, feeling cornered and without options, agreed to Ateş's proposal. Ateş tells her that if she agreed, we can get married together. After a few months, we will claim that this child is ours. This marriage will be formal and then we can separate. But no one can say that this child does not have a father. Feraye admits that this seems to be the best way to avoid upsetting her family. In the meantime, Yaman had married Aleyna, but his heart and attention remained with Feraye at all times. He treated his new bride harshly, displaying no affection or desire to be with her. They didn't even share the same bed. Aleyna's dreams of a grand wedding were shattered. Even Yaman's mother opposed their relationship. making every effort to drive Elena and her mother away. Yaman, desperate to be with Feraye, begged for a chance to explain himself. However, the world crumbled around him when he learned that Feraye was marrying Ateş. To protect her own secret, Feraye lied to Yaman, claiming that her relationship with Ateş had begun before his return to Turkey. She told her that I cheated on you. This upsets Yaman. He loses himself and is nervous and tense all the time, even with his brother who still don't know anything that these two had been in a relationship. The wedding plans kept moving ahead, with Ateş treating Feraye kindly and making her feel protected. Meanwhile, Elena got quite a surprise when she learned about grand weddings for her stepsisters. One evening, the family had guests over to celebrate. During this get-together, one of Ateş's friends overheard Feraye and her father discussing their marriage. It became clear that the wedding was a temporary solution to shield Feraye from trouble. Ateş asked her to keep it a secret, promising not to reveal this to anyone else. However, she didn't keep her promise. She went ahead and confessed to Okan, Yaman's brother. Okan now knew the entire story and saw a faint glimmer of hope in being the one to rescue Yaman and Feraye's love. Nevertheless, he made a difficult decision to stay silent. Okan's silence was not due to lack of care, but rather a deeper concern. Bora, the man from the earlier incident, was found and hospitalized. Okan feared that revealing the secret could lead to Cemile disclosing his role in the unfortunate incident. Thus, he chose to hold his silence, knowing that it was the best course of action at the time. On wedding day, Yaman decided to pour his heart out. He wrote a letter to Ateş confessing everything that happened between him and Feraye and why he was pushed to make the difficult choices he had. He implored Ateş to look after his younger brother Okan, as he had made the life-altering decision to leave for London. Yaman hid the letter in Ateş's room, and overcome by emotion, he took his car and left. Sadly, his emotions got the better of him. He ended up in a serious accident. The hospital had Feraye's number on their emergency contact list. Shortly before leaving her room for the wedding, Feraye received a phone call. Shock overtook her as she learned that Yaman was in a critical condition at the hospital. Without a second thought, she abandoned everything and rushed to be by his side. At that moment, Yaman's life hung in the balance, and no one knew if he would make it out alive. What will happen next in this thrilling story? Will Yaman survive? And will Feraye uncover the letter that Yaman wrote to Ateş? Subscribe to our channel and you will be the first to know when we release the next parts. You won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible story.